Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. Today, we have quite a bit of smaller stories, but not a lot of huge, big ones, so a lot of these will probably be quick. But to start off, I just want to mention that Marvel will be returning to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and that definitely is exciting, as it means that Marvel has been cooking in the background, and they have stuff ready to show. I think that's another reason why Marvel has been on the downside lately, is that there's been no real hype events. We don't know what's coming next. Like, think about the last time where we didn't know, like, the next full 5 years of Marvel entirely mapped out, and we don't. All we really know right now, aside from rumors, beyond Thunderbolts and Captain America, is the Avengers movies, really, guys, right? And then also there's, like, Ironheart and shit, but that's about it. Imagine they announced the next saga after the multiverse saga. If so, I honestly think they would get me hype again. I don't know, man. I just think that's what they need, because I was in a Marvel fatigue before the 2022 SDCC stuff, and then once they did that and they unveiled Kang Dynasty and everything, I was back for a little bit, so they might be able to get me back again. Next up, we have some news on the Harry Potter series, being that Mark Mylod and Francesca Gardner will be involved. Both of these people, if you don't know them, are Succession alumni. Now, I'll always have some bit of beef with Succession for the amount of Emmys that it's stolen from Better Call Saul, but I can't deny that it is a very well-made show. So the fact that they are tapped on for Harry Potter does intrigue me a little bit. I mean, I doubt I'll watch it still. Harry Potter has never really been my thing. I don't know why I can never get into Harry Potter. It is similar to Star Wars in a lot of ways. Maybe I should give it a chance. Do you guys think I should give Harry Potter a chance? I mean, if I did, it would be through the books first, as I'm sure the books are better. Next up, we have some Fantastic Four news, being that it is set in the 1960s and is in an alternate universe to the main MCU. No, this does not mean it's non-canon to the MCU. Just think of the multiverse, guys. That's clearly what it is. And really, I think that's what Fantastic Four needs. Not Fantastic Four in particular, but we just need more projects that are set in the core MCU still. It's still going to be important to the MCU story, but set in other universes, as we really just have What If for that. Sure, we have stuff like Spider-Man Freshman here and X-Men 97, which are canon to the MCU's multiverse, but they haven't linked up with the main MCU at all yet, and this likely will. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to see a version of Reed Richards that is also played by John Krasinski if we're going more into the multiverse. So, even though he was killed in Doctor Strange 2, maybe we'll get to see another variant. As for the movie being set in the 1960s, that is also a very, very interesting choice. And it'll be a good way to differentiate this universe from the main one, as it'll be in a different time period. And I think it just shows the completely limitless potential of the multiverse if you know what you're doing. Obviously, the multiverse can be used just for cheap things like reviving characters. Like, everyone's like, oh, they can use the multiverse to bring back Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. But that's not what the multiverse should be. The multiverse should open up the possibilities to just do wild shit. And have it, and since it's in another universe, it's because that universe has different laws than our own. So if there's a world where everybody has dicks for hands, you can't question it because it's not supposed to be like our own, you know? I think that is what the multiverse should be used for. And time travel is another way that you can use it. So I'm happy to see a period piece in the MCU. Next up, I'm kind of disappointed in this news, being that Despicable Me is reportedly never going to age up any of the characters, including the kids. Now, I don't know if this applies to Gru's new baby in Despicable Me 4. He might be an entirely separate beast. Who knows, maybe he'll only be in this movie and not any future ones. But I think you should age up the main kids, especially if you do plan to continue to expand the franchise. I don't think you can have Gru continue to be the protagonist forever. And who better to take over than one of his children? Because the Minions have their own franchise. If you want to actually continue the Despicable Me series, you should probably do it with a human character. I mean, judging by the way Despicable Me 4 is going, though, maybe we'll have a Minion get turned into a human. Oh god, that'd be so cursed. That would bring back all the Minion hate all over again. Next up, we have some new cast members for One Piece Season 2, just like yesterday. One of them being Werner Kotzer. And the interesting thing that I found on his filmography is that his entire filmography doesn't consist of one single English project. And also, he has been in a stage play that's called Boeing Boeing. I think that's hilarious. Hopefully it doesn't signify that One Piece Season 2 is going to crash, but once again, it's continuing the trend of having lesser-known actors, as I guarantee you, no one outside of South Africa, where he was born, knows where he is. Next up, though, Brendan Murray. He is even more obscure, really. I mean, he has English roles, but we're not trying to be racist here. Just because his roles are English doesn't mean he's more well-known. He hasn't been in anything that I've seen either. Hell, he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Hopefully someone makes one for him after this. Clive Russell is the only actor out of these three where I genuinely feel like they didn't just pull him out of nowhere. He's been in quite a few things that I've heard of. He's been in Amazing World of Gumball, Thor the Dark World, The Young Messiah, Ripper Street, Sherlock Holmes, Coronation Street, so he must be British, as well as the British version of Shameless. Not the American version like I originally thought, but still. While a lot of his roles were minor, at least he has something in his filmography that we can judge him off of, right? That's not me shitting on the other two actors, but it's nice to know what you're getting yourself into before you watch an actor on screen. As for how these people look in terms of live action comparing to their characters, I once again think Clive Russell is the best choice here. I mean, he just looks like he could play his character, Crocus. I'm kind of mixed on Werner. I don't think he really has the build for Dory, at least judging by this. And same with Brendan Murray as Brodie. I'm sure they're bulking up with training as we speak, though, so I'm not too worried. Elon Musk has now entered the world of being an actor, as he is now acting in a new short-form series that is being produced exclusively for Twitter. Does this mean we can consider Twitter a streaming service now? If so, I guess Netflix has competition for worst service. Also, are they really going to call this the South Park of X? Like, okay, I know South Park isn't as good as it used to be, but you're really going to compare a little 4-minute short to South Park? Hell, you could probably produce bullshit like this faster than South Park gets produced, and that actually gets made on a week-to-week basis, or at least it used to be. In another incident of Dexerto reporting on shit that is not at all news, we have a UFC fighter begging his opponent to not use magic during their match. Now, I didn't watch the actual statement because I have better things to do than watch UFC, thankfully, like record fucking 10 Pokemon episode summaries in one sitting. But if I were his opponent, I would respond to this by accusing him of being on steroids, and you'd honestly probably have a good shot at getting him banned. Because, I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, man? How would a guy use magic? I think you're the one using some magic mushrooms, bro. According to Drama Alert, there are Hollywood agencies eyeing the Hawk Tuah girl. Now, I haven't spoken on the Hawk Tuah meme as, what's there to really talk about it? Sure, it's kind of funny. Like, she's just like, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah, and just fucking spits on the guy. Like, holy shit, man. I mean, frankly, I think the guy asking her the question kind of deserved it. I mean, he's one of those annoying street interviewers, right? We have enough of those. But anyways, that's basically the whole situation. She just spat on him, so I didn't feel the need to report on it, even though if I put that in the title, like, oh, Hawk Tuah, I'm sure I would have got a little bit more views. But come on, Hollywood agencies are looking for her. This Hawk Tuah trend, just like any of these trends, is going to die out in the next week at most. It's probably dead by the time this video is going up. It's already dying. So any attempt at Hollywood agencies trying to capitalize on this is already doomed to fail. Also, are they implying that this was a staged scenario then? Because why would they look for her to act in a movie if all she did was spit on someone, right? That doesn't imply she has any acting skills, which you need to have a little bit of to star in a movie. You can't just go in just because you're famous because of a meme. So now we have a new Hawk Tuah conspiracy. Was it all an act? Hawk Tuah is probably a popular search trend on the Hub right now, but unfortunately, for multiple states, they won't be able to search for it as the Hub is being banned in yet again 3 more states. Now, Drama Alert says 5, but that's just because they're slow and didn't cover Kentucky and Indiana already. But as for the new states, they include Idaho, Kansas, and Nebraska. Now, Idaho and Kansas, when I think of those states, I could see them doing this. I don't know why. They just, once again, like Kentucky and Indiana, they just seem like the type of more conservative states that would do this. But Nebraska, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a state that would ban the Hub. There's not really much to say here. I've already given my thoughts on the Hub being banned in places in general. I don't want to reiterate myself. Just to keep it brief, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. There's plenty of other sites you can go to. North Korea is reportedly sending in troops to fight in Ukraine in support of Russia. Great! Who could have saw this coming? At least it's just troops and no nukes yet. Though to be fair, if Russia isn't going with nukes, I doubt North Korea would. Hopefully. It's still scary that they're joining forces, though. Even if nukes are off limits, 2 dictators combining their minds, what kind of hell is going to be created from that? Lastly for today, Toys R Us has embarked on an AI journey, releasing an AI-generated commercial for their store. Now, Toys R Us went bankrupt, right? So why the fuck are they doing this? If there's a way that you can bankrupt your company in the eyes of the public, it's by using AI. Look, if Toys R Us really wanted to get in on current trends, they shouldn't have did AI, but they should do something with VR or the metaverse or something. And that's what kids are into nowadays, is video games or virtual reality. The art of the regular-ass toy is unfortunately dying a little bit, it seems. So Toys R Us should maybe try and get into that market, aside from an AI one, which is so fucking divisive.